Hello everybody, welcome back to our YouTube channel and thank you for watching all our videos. I'm so grateful to you that I already received so many messages and emails and you are interested in what we are publishing here. So thank you very much. We will discuss today a new package of fiscal measurements that our government will take. They will be applicable in two stages, one with 1st of August 2025 and the other one starting with 1st of January 2026. So if you want to invest in Romania or if you already have a business here, it's really important to know what you have to do starting with this new package. So whether you have a small business, a bigger business, or you are just an entrepreneur that has an PFA, for example, a simple PFA, all these fiscal measurements will be affecting your business because they are having an impact on all of us. So stay with me and let's see what are those ones that are applicable starting with 1st of August 2025. Let's start with the first one, which is the most important because it will be affecting everybody. It's about the VAT. The general quote of 19% that we have here in Romania will rise up to 21%. So this is something that is applicable to all products or services that are that we have here in Romania, and this will be the new VAT, standard VAT. Let's see which are the sectors that are affected. So from my point of view, all the sectors are affected because, as I said, is the new standard quote of VAT. What can be the impact on your business? Of course, if your business is one that is sensible to these kind of changes, that might be losing some clients. But if this is the general rate of VAT, in this case, of course, taking into consideration that it's affecting everybody, I believe that you may be somehow okay with this, because we all know that this will mean rising of the prices. So we will have to deal with it as it is. The second fiscal measurement that they took is increasing on the reduced rate of VAT from 9% to 11%. The sectors affected by this change are food, medicine, pesticides, and water. As I told you previously, the impact will be on all the segments and all the final consumers, so this might not be so bad in the end, because there are not only some of us that need to adjust the prices, all the sectors will need to adjust the prices. And the third fiscal measurement that they adopted already, is increasing the reduced rate of VAT from 5% to 11%, which means more than double. Here we have some sectors that are affected, and we may name these: all cultural and educational activities, energetic field, and so on. Basically, we have books, theater tickets, energy, firewood, and so on. What it will be the impact of these changes on these particularly fields? Of course, it's high. The impact in this case is more than high, so we need to sustain somehow these sectors and to help them to pass through all these changes. And the second bomb, let's say like this, it's also for another field of activity that had reduced rate of 9% that now is rising to 21%. Again, these are the unfortunate of this new package of fiscal measurements, because the impact is more than high. We are talking here about more than double the VAT rate, so we'll see how they can manage and can sustain this. On this fourth category, we are talking about delivery of social housing, because in this case we had 9% and now it's 21%. Installation of photovoltaic panels or heating pumps. Basically, these are the most affected areas, so they really need to see how they adjust, and you, if you are on this field, you need to see how you can adjust your strategy, how you communicate to your clients the fact that you have a price with a VAT more than double. You need to know how to attract people, and you need to decide between having the same profit or losing clients. This is a really bad decision to take, because of course everybody wants to work for the profit, but in this case our government said that they need money, and because here it's continuously growing and we have lots of clients on these fields, they said why not to take the money from here. I don't know if they will succeed with this, because it's quite difficult to make such a big increase in the VAT rate, but we will see. So this was related to the VAT. We have the general rate that rise from 19 to 21. We have a reduced rate that rise from 9 to 11. And we have the reduced rate that rise from 5 to 11 and from 9 to 21. Now, we have, of course, other fiscal measurements that are applicable to in this first package, and one of that is the paying the health insurance for pensions that are higher of 3,000 RON. Also, this health insurance is related to the persons that did not have any income. So basically, if you wanted to put your mother, your father, and your wife as insured on your own package of insurance, I mean the public insurance right now, not the private one, you could have done it before. Now, if you want to keep them insured in the public system, you need to submit a declaration with this insurance, and you have to pay 25% now when you submit the insurance, and after that 75% next year until 25th of May. Also related to the insurance, the mothers that are raising their child, because here in Romania you have a maternal leave of 2 years. They are until now they were insured in the public system. Now, due to these changes, they need to submit again a declaration through which they will they will have the option to be insured or not. And if they want to be insured, they need to pay as well the health insurance, because otherwise they will not be insured in the public system. So, first package is related to VAT, second with health insurance to pensions and other people that were not having incomes until now, but they were by default insured by the state. Another fiscal measurement that they adopted is the increase in the excise duties. I'm talking here about the alcohol, tobacco, and gas, and the sugar. These are the fields that are affected. Of course, this will mean higher prices on all these products. And last but not least, we have additional taxes on banking system and on gambling. For sure, I do agree with that one on gambling, because here in Romania it was such a low percentage of taxation. What I cannot agree is not necessarily because I am keen with the banks, but because the cost it will be transferred to us, the population, is with the banking profit taxes, because for sure after they will be paying more on tax on profit, they will transfer all the costs to the population. Whenever they will give credits, whenever they will have new packages for banking commissions and so on. I do agree to be taxed these two fields, but we need to see somehow how they will be reporting to us and how they will be accessed by us, and how we'll see. And now let's talk about the second round of changes, which will start in 1st of January 2026. The most important of all of them is rising in the dividend tax, which means that for all of you that have a business here in Romania and that are willing to take dividends, it's really important to know that the tax on dividend will rise from 10% to 16% next year. So somehow, unfortunately, we will align to the European tendency to have a higher taxation, but still, and keep this in mind, still we have lower taxation than in other states. Basically, if you'll have a company starting with 2026, you will have 16% tax on profit and 16% tax on dividends, which will mean 32% taxes in total. What I can tell you for sure that there are countries in which you pay 48 or even 52%, so still we are good. What I do recommend you, if you have profits from the previous years, either you take them this year in 2025, either you invest them. It's not worth to keep them in the company. At least we may thank to our kind government that they give us this opportunity, because usually when they published law, they published with retroactive applicable, but now in this case they said, okay, you can do it this year, because starting with 2026 you will be paying 16%. So you still have time to adjust your strategy. You just need to know what you have to do. The second fiscal measurement that they are proposing for next year, it's also affecting all of us that have a property. And of course, here in Romania, I believe you already know that the percentage of the owners, it's somehow around 85%. So lots of the people that are staying in Romania have also property. What is different starting with next year, it will be like this. The tax on property will be paid on the value on the market, because up to this point the taxes were paid to a flat amount. But from 2026 we need to make evaluation reports and pay it to the market price, because of course the market prices are much higher lately. Another modification is the environmental taxation, toll raw. This is something that you must pay if you have a car that has more than 3.5 tons. And usually it's for transportation sector, not necessarily for individual. Of course, that will mean higher prices, because as in all other fields, all the costs that you have as a company, you will transfer to your prices further. And on all the chain, this price, it will be seen. And the fifth one is the royalties and the monetization of the state assets. This one can have an impact only for those of you that are working with the state here in Romania. So it's not so complicated, and for sure that will mean some amendments to the contracts that you are already signing with the ministry or with the state here in Romania. Basically, these are the most important modifications, fiscal modifications that can affect your business. Of course, there are more than this, but I only want to let you know about these ones that are affecting you as individual or as entrepreneur, because there are lots of our subscribers that are living here in Romania, even if they are foreigners. So this is important to know how this will change and why the prices will rise, because for sure we are expecting a rise of prices in two stages, one in 1st of August and the other one in 1st of January 2026. If you ask me if Romania is still a good country to invest in, I would tell you yes, and I already explained you why it's still a good country. And do not forget that here you may find specialists, good specialists. You may find good accountants that can let you know what are the changes and what you can do. And not in the end, of course, the percentage of the profit may not be so high as it was until 2025, but for sure the communication with the banks, the way that you are doing the business, the bank accounts and everything, it will be more easier here than in other European countries. So this is just to inform you, to let you know what is the change in order for you to have time to adjust your prices, your strategy of developing and communication to your clients and so on. As you all may know, taxation here in Romania lately is changing annually and sometimes twice a year. Unfortunately, I don't know why this happened so quickly. In the last 3-4 years, all the modifications were constantly, but hopefully this year will be the last one, because these are the higher taxes that we had, and after we will recover from this gap, everything will come back to the normal situation. What I can tell you for sure is that everything can be reduced. All the effects of this fiscal modification can be reduced if you are attentive to what you are doing and if you follow some basic steps. And and I want you to see what are our recommendations, because it's really important to let you know what you can do. First of all, you need to plan ahead the adjustment of the prices. Be really attentive that in 1st of August 2025, you already have to have all the prices adjusted. On the cashier, on your website, if you are selling here in Romania, everywhere, you need to put the new VAT code. So this is first and foremost to adjust the prices in time. Of course, you need to analyze the impact on the cash flow, because these changes might affect your cash flow, and the most affected area in this case would be for those of you that are working in HoReCa field and other fields in which the VAT was more than double. So in this case, you need to analyze the cash flow and you need to see how you can manage this fiscal change. Another recommendation that I would have would be to reevaluate the decision to invest, because as I said, starting with 1st of August 2025, the VAT for social houses will be higher, will be rising from 9% to 21%. As I said, it's more than double as VAT, I mean. So if you want to do something or if you want to buy something, this month would be the best. If not, you need to see how you can reposition yourself. Another smart step that you can do is to talk to your accountant, because for sure they know all the laws and modifications, and they know exactly your situation and they know how to advise you in all these fields. And last but not least, be aware of all the fiscal changes. It's really important for you to be updated with everything. Either you read, either you are in Facebook groups, YouTube groups, you watch our channel about this news, I don't know, but be updated with everything that is happening, because only like this you will know how to adjust your strategy. So if you want to have an analyzed situation of your business strategy, or you just want to know what is happening more than this, you can whenever write to us at office@mbv-tax.ro or to my personal address madalina.vlad@mbv-tax.ro. So we will be waiting anytime. Your questions, everything that crosses your mind. It's really, really important, as I said, to be updated. So let us keep you updated. Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe if you liked this video, and we'll be waiting you with new interesting videos in the near future. Have a nice day.